The Youth of Nature by Matthew Arnold. Raised are the dripping oars, silent the boat, the lake, lovely and soft as a dream, swims in the sheen of the moon, the mountains stand at its heat, clear the pure June night, but the valleys are floated with haze. Light and flare fired are where, in the shadow words will fly dead. So it is, so it will be, fie, nature is fresh as of old, is lovely, immortal as dead. The spots which recall him survive, for he lent a new life to his heads. The palace still broods over fields which border endless lake. Dragon sleeps by the sea. The gleam of evening star trinkets on Greece no more. But rude and sonny and grey, the sheepfold of Micah survives. And far to the south the heath still blows in the Quanto combs, by the favourite waters of Ruth. We survive, yet not without pain and dejection tonight. Can I feel that where Paul is gone? He grew old in an age he continent. He looked on the rushing decay of a time which shattered his youth, felt with his loathed throes of a social order he loved, outlived his brief and his peers, and like the deepened seer, died in his enemy's day. Gold bubbled the spring of Tyrus, cups lay bright in the moon, pelican glassed in the lake. Its fires and affair arose the peaks of Pranosus slowly clear. Thebes was behind him in flames, and the clang of arms in his ear, when the awe-struck captain laid the reverend seat of the spring. Drusus drank and died, nor did reviving Phoebus see such a prophet again. Well may we mourn when the heat of a sacred poet lies low in an age which can rear them no more. We complain that millions of men darken in labour and pain, but he was surprised to us all of the wonder and bloom of the world which he saw with his eyes, and were glad he is dead at the fruit-bearing day of his raising past on the earth, and darkness returns to our eyes. For oh, is it you, moonlight and shadow and lake and mountains that fill us with joy, our poet who sings you so well? Is it you, O beauty, O grace, O charm, O romance, would we feel, the voice which reveals what you are? Are ye, like daylight and sun, shared and rejoiced in by all? Or are ye immersed in the mass of matter, and hard to extract, or sunk at the core of the world, too deep for the most to discern, like stars in the deep of sky, which rise on the glass of forsake, but are lost when the watcher is gone? We are here. I hear it as man heard, and makes an idea the voice of a mighty mother, or creed, the murmur of nature reply. Loveliness, magic trace, we are here. We are set in a world where abide and finds of souls have not been fed by them all, but that has been dared to be quiet. The poet who sings for may die. But we are mortal and live, for we are alive of a word. Will ye not learn it now, when you mourn that the poet is dead? Will the singer was less when his themes, life and emotion, and I? More than the singer Louise, weak as a dream of pain, but thrills in this mournful chant, the word which once ran through his soul, called the elation of joy in his gladdest, airiest song, the which of old in his youth filled him, made him divine. Hartley's voice, at its best, gives us a sense of the ave, the vastness, the grade, the gloom of the utal gulf of himself. He knew not yourself and your bards, the clearest, the best you have reached most in themselves, if we hate less one way left unrevealed. Ye express not yourselves. Can ye make with marble, with colour, with word, what shan't you in other relive? Can the pencil, O artist, restore the figure that bloom of the love, as she was in the morning of spring? Canst for pain be fine smile, wise as we rested on vine? Can the image of life have a gloom, the emotion of life itself? Yourselves and your fellows, you know, to me, mateless the one, will ye know? Will ye scan me and sweet me and tell of the thoughts that free rammed in my breast? Allowing my sadness, my joy, we claim for your great ones the gift to have rendered the gleam of my skies, to have enchanted the moan of my seas, out of the voice of my hills. When your great ones depart, will ye say, all things have suffered a loss, nature's height in the grave? Race after race, man after man, have fought with my secret unswears, have dreamed that I live, but for them, Wherever glory and joy, where you're dust, where you're changed, where you're gone, I remain.